I want to specially welcome you to this class. In this class, we are going to be looking at history practical and I want to look at 2026 Neco qualitative or SWOT analysis, and then we want to practice questions on, what are the likely questions you are going to see for this Neco 2026 SWOT analysis. Okay, if you follow us and watch this video, by the grace of God, this exam is going to be very easy for you. Okay, these are the likely areas they are going to ask you, and when you watch this video, you don't have to worry about anything at all. Your exam is going to be a success. I pray it will be so in Jesus' name. The question we are going to be considering here, usually for chemistry practical, the sections are usually divided into two. So we have the quantitative analysis, that's titration, and then we have a qualitative analysis, that is also called SWOT analysis, that's or test of ions. So let's consider this question that will help us to do that, and we are going to be doing the practical live, okay, to see what likely questions and what will be the likely observations and inferences depending on how the questions comes. Okay, the first question here, or the question in this class, the C is an inorganic salt. Carry out the following exercises on it. That's on C. Record your observations and identify any gases involved. State the conclusions you draw from the result of each test. Question say A, say put all of C in the test tube and add about 10 cm cube of distilled water. Shake thoroughly and test the resulting solution with litmus paper. That's A. Then B say divide the solution into 3 portions. To the first portion, add NaOH in drops and then in excess. Then the second question here under B says to the second portion, add aqueous ammonia, that's NH3, in drops and then in excess. Then the last question is to the third portion, add barium chloride, that's BaCl2, followed by dilute HCl. Remember, when you are your presentation of answers, this is how you write your table. So the first column of the table, we have test, observation, and then we have what? Inference. Test, observation in the middle, inference at the edge. The first question say here says put all of C in a test tube and add about 10 cm cube. So this is how we're going to write the test is C plus 10 cm cube of distilled water. So let's carry out that first and then check what is the observation. Continue from there. So we are looking at sample C. The sample C, excuse me. So sample C say add about 10 cm cube of distilled water. Put all of sample C in test tube and add about 10 cm cube of distilled water. So we are going to do that right now. Okay, about 10 cm cube. This is okay. We have added distilled water here. That's okay. So, and then we'll shake it thoroughly. So we'll shake it here thoroughly and observe what happens. You can notice this sample C is dissolving. The solid that was there is disappearing. That means sample C is dissolving. All the particles there are gone. It's only the solution we have. So what solution is this? This is a pale blue solution. You can take a look at it. Pale blue. C dissolves to form a pale blue solution. And if C dissolves to give a pale blue solution, what will be the inference? C is a soluble salt. That is the inference. Okay, the second part of the question says, that's the C question A. The second part says, and today test the resulting solution with litmus paper. sample C solution. Now we have added 10 cm cube of distilled water to it, so it has become a solution. So this is the solution that we have, is a solution of sample C, an aqueous solution of sample C plus litmus paper. So that means we are required to test it with litmus paper, and you use both blue and red litmus paper. So let me start with red litmus paper. So let's test sample C solution with red litmus paper. Did you see any change? There's no change there. Use blue litmus paper. We want to dip it inside here. Now remember, this is a solution, this is not gas, so I don't need to wet it. Okay, very good. So did you see that? That is, it has turned what? It has changed from blue to red. What's our inference now? So we say solution of C or sample C turns blue litmus, red. Substance turns blue litmus paper red. What is supposed to be the inference? Sample C solution is acidic. Exhausted all we need to do on question A. Let's go to question B. Question B is divided into 3 portions, while we still draw a table here. So we have test, observation, then we have inference. The first question here says divide, B said divide the solution into 3 portions. So let's do the division now. So this is my first test tube, just a little portion, 3 portions. Okay, it's enough. So that's first portion. Then yeah, that's second portion. It's too much, so I'll find a way to reduce it. Okay, that's the third portion. That's okay. All right. So we have divided the solution of sample C into 3 portions. So let's carry out this test and see the first portion. Say first portion of sample C solution, we add sodium hydroxide in drops, then in excess. So let's write that first portion of sample C solution plus NaOH, aqueous NaOH in drops. Okay, so let's record what happens in drops. So let's check here. This is NaOH, okay? So I'm going to do the test. This is the first portion. So let's try that and see. So you say in drops, just drops. Okay. So did you see that? A pale blue gel. The inference here is we have pale blue gelatinous precipitate. Then we are adding in excess of sodium hydroxide now. Pale blue gelatinous precipitate. What is the inference? The inference is copper 2 plus present. So let's add in excess and see what happens. So in excess is still pale blue, right? Precipitate is not soluble, or we say precipitate does not dissolve. Cu2 plus is present there. We are done with the first question under option B. Go to the second portion. We are asked to add ammonia. This is ammonia, aqueous ammonia. Second portion, ammonia in drops. just very small in drops. If you add in excess, it will give something else. So we try in drops first. Or second portion. So this is of sample C solution. Now please take note, you don't say sample C, because this was sample C. Anything from this second row from here, what we were making use of was the solution of sample C. So when you are writing your own test, make sure you say sample C solution, or others you may want to say C aqueous. C the same as C solution. So instead of writing sample C solution, just write C aqueous. That's also correct. That means because sample C was dissolved in what? In water. Portion of sample C solution plus aqueous ammonia in drops. In drops. Okay, so let's do the test and see what we will observe. So we have just drops. Make sure it is in drops. Okay, you see that? That's a pale blue. Pale blue, gelatinous precipitate. That is Cu2 plus present. So let's add it in excess. You see what happened? It has become what? Deep blue. Excess of we have precipitate dissolves to form a deep blue solution. So Cu2 plus is confirmed. All right. So the first portion we added aqueous sodium hydroxide, and we observe is copper. So the second time when we are repeating the experiment with ammonia and we got this, we are going to confirm it. Okay, but now mind you, if they just ask you to have aqueous ammonia in option one, the first option, and you know they do not ask you to add sodium hydroxide first, you are not going to confirm this. You are just going to write present. Okay, now if this is going to confuse you, you just write present for all of them. It's still okay, and you'll be marked correct. But however, if you are asked to add sodium hydroxide then aqueous ammonia, then you can confirm it at the second unit, which uh, you can say Cu2 plus is called confirmed. Okay, third test under option B, e say we should add to the third portion, add third portion of sample C plus BaCl2 aqueous. So let's do that and see what it will give us. Use first, second portion. This is the third portion. This is BlCl. Just add any amount as changed to white precipitate. So we have white precipitate. After that, followed by dilute HCl. So we are going to write dilute HCl. So if we observe white precipitate here, what are the ions present? We have CO3 2 minus, we have S2 minus, we have SO3 2 minus, or SO4 2 minus present. So these are the ions present there. When we observe white precipitate, these are the likely ions that are present. So the last is addition of dilute HCl. So let's add dilute HCl. Okay, so I've added dilute HCl. Did anything change? There's no change there. Okay, so that means precipitate remains the same. Precipitate is not soluble. Or dilute HCl, we have precipitate is insoluble. Means that SO4 2 minus is present. So if precipitate was soluble, it will not be SO4, but since it's not soluble, that means the ion present there is SO4. Sometimes they can ask you to add HCl before adding BlCl. Take note. Sometimes they can ask you to add dilute HCl before adding BlCl. Now, if it turns the other way around, that is all, they can say third portion of sample C plus dilute HCl. Okay, so if we do that, so we thank God we still have this. So let's try to demonstrate that so that you can see just a little bit of it. We are considering this still the third portion. Okay, so we are adding dilute HCl first. So let's add dilute HCl here. So you see, if we added dilute HCl, there's no observable change, there's no visible reaction. So we can write no visible reaction. So there's no inference for that. Followed by BSCl. So instead of asking you add BSCl first, followed by dilute HCl, you'll be asked to add dilute HCl followed by BSCl. And then that's plus BaCl2 aqueous. So you observe. So let's try that and see. To this, we are adding BSCl. So did you see white precipitate now? Means that we'll write our observation, that's white precipitate. Now if we observe white precipitate, that's a test for confirmation test for SO4. So that's SO4 2 minus present. Or you can say confirm. Okay, that the only ion that is likely to be here is SO4 2 minus. So you can say confirm. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you understood what we did here, and I hope this will prepare you for your forthcoming examination. All right, so if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section or comment generally on the video. Let's know what you think about the video. If it was educative, where you think we can make adjustments and then meet your needs. So thank you very much once again for joining. Remain blessed. So don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you.